Mrs. Carol Boigon as the last candidate to speak to you, and then we'll go ahead and do a Q&A. Mrs. Boigon.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much, all of you, for being here. It always takes me back to be at East, because this is where my children went to school, and I spent 8 years as a parent here. And the auditorium looks beautiful, and I've wasted a few seconds to tell you how much I love it. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. My dad was an entrepreneur. He had small businesses. And for those of you who know anything about Detroit, you know Detroit doesn't have recessions. Detroit has depressions. So here we worry about 10% unemployment, and there they worry about 30%. So for us it was boom or bust, mostly bust. When I was 5 years old, I contracted polio and began my time with Detroit Children's Hospital, where I spent on and off about 6 years with braces and physical therapists. And I tell you this story with some difficulty, in part because it did change me. It changed the way I approach problems and the way I see things. I think differently. There is never one way to solve a challenge. There is never one way to approach a problem, never one way to move forward. Instead, there are goals and opportunities and many ways to approach it, to bring people together, to think as a team, and to solve those problems. And what my parents always said to me was, figure it out, you can do it, we'll do it together. And that's what I bring to this race. That's the problem solving that I bring to this time. And you'll have to excuse me also because I'm battling a spring cold here, so I have a cough drop in my mouth so I can finish talking to you. We're facing real challenges here in Denver about our economy and about jobs for families in the middle. And that's the problem that we need to tackle together as a community, and that's the work that I want to do with you. I believe that this moment is ripe for Denver to decide where it wants to be the market leader for the country in a number of areas, and to go after and attract jobs for innovation in a partnership with the Chamber, but also not to forget our families in the middle, and to remember that we have to look at the products that should be made here to support those innovations, for the services that should be provided here to support those innovations and to support those products, so that we're building strength in the Denver economy for decades to come, for our families, for the children who are growing up here, to have good jobs and be able to take care of their families and to be good citizens. And that's the work that we need to do in this community. Denver is a wonderful city. I've been here for more than 40 years. I've lived in Park Hill and raised my children here. And I know that there are special things about our city and wonderful things that we have accomplished. But we can't sit back and say that it's all done, because every new era presents a challenge. And the challenge before us today is to be smart about how we attack this question of jobs in the economy. And we can talk about a project or even big projects. And projects are a bridge, but our weakness has been that we have public sector jobs and construction jobs, and not much else in the middle. And when construction slows down, there's not much else to go on. And construction is about creating spaces for other things to happen. And we need to make those things happen. So I'm asking you today to remember me. My name is Carol Boigon. I'm a candidate for mayor. I've been a mother, a teacher. I've worked for Mayor Webb, built in the mayor's office for education and children, Denver Head Start. I've been on city council for 8 years, convened my colleagues to attack the problems of Colfax Avenue. And now I want to bring that spirit to Denver and to say to you, it's time for us to rebuild our economy for all our families. Thank you very much.